in the beginning, when Kamsa was taken Devaki to the wedding party, he has heard the so-called Akashvani, the voice from the sky, saying that, Kamsa, you're a fool, the 8th child of your sister will kill you. Kamsa began outraged, and he wanted to kill on the spot his sister. Also, he was taken to the wedding, but then her husband Vasudeva promised that he will give every child to Kamsa. Then later, when Krishna appeared, he was given every child except the one Balaram. He was transferred to the womb of the Rohini, another wife of Vasudeva. And when Krishna appeared, he has brought it to Vrindavan, more precise to Gokul Mahavan. And he brought it there. And since that time, to Krishna, Kamsa was sending different demons. First he was sending, remember who? Putana. Putana, it's like witch demon, which was trying to kill. She was turned into the beautiful lady and was trying to pretend that she was going to breastfeed the child. But then Krishna understood her heart, and he has sucked out her life air from her. And there are many demons like this. The next demon, who remember who was the next demon? Shakatasura. The demon, he was taken like a ghost. He's come into the cart, and into which the Krishna was laying. And he kicked with his leg, and he's killed the demon. And there was another demon, whirlwind demon, called Trinavarta. Every time Kamsa was sending different demons. For example, in the end, Arishtasura, the demon was in the form of bull. It's the story which we've been reading just now. In the form of bull, and he was like, Kamsa was saying, what's happening to my friends, to my demons? They all been killed. And Arisha said to him, why are you sending all these demons if I'm here? I can quickly just finish all these boys, Krishna and Balaram, with no problems. You should send me. And he came to the outskirts of, already not Gokula. Krishna then changed to Vrindavan, to move to Vrindavan, then to Nandagram. Last place where he lived in was Nandagram. You probably know where Nandagram is. And before leaving to Mathura. He lived there for 10 years in Vraja Mandala. He lived there for 10 years, and before he left, like 8 months before he left to Mathura, the demon Arishtasura came. He has taken form of huge bull, black bull with raised horns, with a huge hump. He was so huge, like 80 miles in size, that sometimes clouds were thinking that he is a big mountain, and it was like hovering above him. And when he was coming, it was said that he was frightening all bulls, other small bulls and cows. And his name Arishta means bringing calamity. Arishta. Asura means his demon. He was bringing calamity to all this cowherd community and to all these animals. And when they seen him, he was coming to outskirts of Nandagram. And when he seen him, they were starting to yell, Govinda, Govinda, Krishna, Krishna, please come, help us. Also they understand that Krishna is their relative. But when some danger happens, they usually call Krishna. When, for example, huge rain, Indra sent, he was holding the umbrella, like this Govardhan, you can see this picture. Krishna is holding Govardhan hill. He was protecting his villagers, his relatives, his friends from the torrential rains. Like, for example, in India there are a lot of floods, this kind of situation, disasters, but Krishna was usually really happily and easily saving his friends like this. So they called Govinda, and he came. He was, after it was like dusk already, it was like close to the night. He was going to the rasa dance with his girlfriends. Krishna, you know, he has like this ability because he is Supreme Personality Godhead. Sometimes somebody says, why Krishna is teaching like this, to dance with other girls or with other wives? But Krishna is like actual, the real husband of everybody, of all girls in the whole world, because he's God. And we are his Prakriti. And he is the only one Purusha. We think in ourselves, every man thinks himself he is Purusha. He is like, should be enjoying anything. He should enjoy his wife, enjoying all his family. But actually, Krishna is enjoying everything. Krishna, he's given us an opportunity to try to enjoy ourselves, but usually we just like fail. We're trying to enjoy like building our family, doing our business, but usually everything finishes in just death. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this word called Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Dukkhalayam, like you call Himalayam. Why it's called Himalayam? Because Hima, it means, even in Russian, Ukrainian, it's called Hima, it's winter, Zima. The place of winter. Because when I come to, for example, I came like 12 years ago, and it was June period. You know, in June, it's very, very hot in India. When I arrived to Delhi, it was like mostly like 50 degrees of Celsius. Very hot. But when I came to Yamunotri, Gangotri, it was like 15, 17 degrees. And snow was laying everywhere. Very cold. That's why it's called Himalayan, place of winter. Alayam, like Bhogalayam, place where the Bhoga lies. So Dukkhalayam means place where all the miseries here. So he says it's place not for enjoyment. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam. It means it's like prison. That's why Krishna specially made this world for the souls which want to enjoy themselves. Okay, you want to enjoy, no problem. I will arrive. I organized for you very nice place. You will try to enjoy. Please try to enjoy. But I will do a lot of calamities. I will do, you know, in our national anthem, you see Trishun. In our, even now in the, I am from Kiev actually, they put in the big statue, mother statue, and they put in, instead of Soviet Union anthem, they put in our Trishun there. You heard this news, it's like just now happening probably during these days. So, you know this, what this Trishun this stands for? It's like 3 types of miseries. Adhyatmika, Adhidbhautika, and Adhidavika. 3 types of miseries. Because it's Trishun of Lord Shiva, right? He has his wife Parvati, and she's helping everybody to come to Krishna. In this, what way? She's helping by giving different miseries. For example, Adhyatmika, miseries caused by own body. That's why you're who? You're doctors, future doctors, you're medical people who are trying to relieve people of these sufferings. You're trying to help the people, because people are usually suffering with their body. They have mental diseases, they have a disease of body, right? And you're trying to help them. Because it's called one of the miseries, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita explained, one of the miseries, usually it's like trashing, it's one of the points, it says it's miseries called by own body and by own mind. And another misery is called Adhidavika, miseries caused by natural disasters like snow, or like flood, or earthquakes. And the miseries, because Krishna especially made it in order to facilitate us coming to himself. Because if we relax here, we think it's a place to enjoy. We will not be going from this place. We think, well, I'm fine here. I have my family, I have everything. I have my opulence, I have whatever. Like Mukesh Ambani, I'm very rich. Because my Guru Maharaj, he was been present on the wedding of Mukesh Ambani like 2 years ago. Even Hillary Clinton came to this wedding, and he is very rich, but still he came into to ashram to asking for blessings from sadhus. And it's another type of miseries are called Adhidavika, caused by divas, by other devatas, by the like hail, storms, etc. differences. And third type of misery, it's what? Adhibhautika, called by another third people, like not people, but other third persons. It can be animals, it can be insects, it can be Russians. Like they're not hurting us, because I'm living in Kiev every day. Somebody get killed in Kiev by these rockets, by these drones coming to Kiev. Not only Kiev, I've been preaching to Odessa. In Odessa, there like churches destroyed, people destroyed, getting killed. It's also part of the miseries. It's 3 types of miseries. So that's why our Trishun in our anthem, this is nice. It's like from a Vedic tradition. it's like our...
This philosophy behind this Trisul, Ukrainian Trisul, this is the philosophy behind this.
They don't know about this because they thought it's like our old kings were using it, but they didn't know what the stand behind it. But I'm just explaining you. But you know, in Indian, in Veda, is explained what the Trishul means in the hands of Lord Shiva. He's having this Trishul. But there are all, besides this, 3 types of miseries. There are like char or 4 types of miseries called Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. It's in Bhagavad Gita. Janma, it's birth. Mrityu, Mrityu, you should understand. Mrityu, death. Jara, it's old age. And Vyadhi, diseases. He says, besides this, if you even don't get so much all these miseries, first, when you get birth, when labor pains, mother feels a lot of pain, right? Even child feels a lot of pain because it's very, when somebody squeezing you so much and you just don't get it so easily. Then when you get older, you have like old age, Jara, and you have Vyadhi, diseases, which we've been telling about, and then death, Mrityu. So Krishna, that's why Krishna made this place. Why, somebody says, why this place is so unfair? Why this place is so much suffering around? Why people get killed? Earthquakes, why there's so many criminals going around? I think like not so much as justice. But Krishna says, I designed this way because this place designed not for your happiness. It's place designed just for suffering. But why designed for suffering? Because he wants us to return back home, back to Godhead, to the spiritual world. Not just moksha, because moksha, you said, the one of the arthas is the final goal of life. There is a joke, even sometimes, a medical joke. One patient asks doctor, will I live? And doctor asks him, and what is the goal? What is the goal to live? Why do you want to live? If somebody asks you, doctor, I'm in so much pain, I will die. What? Why do you need to live? Just forget it. Just die. No, I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking. But that Krishna special designed this place. It's like a prison. Prison is not a place where you enjoy. Prison, the place where you suffer. So this earth, this material world, or this universe where I live, the place designed for suffering. Of course, some like upper planets like Svargaloka or heavenly planets designed for more enjoyment but still suffering there. I mean, sometimes demons come, like with Bali Maharaj. Sometimes they just, when the piety is finishing, they go down. For example, it's like a resort. For example, sometimes they go to, have you been to Jagannath Puri? Jagannath Puri? It's a place not far from Calcutta. I sometimes come there because it's a very spiritual place. It's like, it's Dharma. It's Lord Jagannath resides there. But I see many Indians from Calcutta come there to enjoy, just have a resort, to have fun, to just drink, marry, and enjoy with their families. But it's like, but when money finished, they go again back to Calcutta or to the place and to earn the money, to do business, etc., to work. That's what they do. So this is, sometimes they say, I will go to Svargaloka, somebody says. I will do very big, pious Indian, I will be very dharmic, I will do just all good. But if you even go to Svargaloka, still you will need to return back when your money, your piety, credit finished. But you go down. Go down again to the earth and go to the family in the Yaduvamshi family, for example. And still, if you don't develop your bhakti tendency, that's why Lord Chaitanya, he came like 500 years ago after Lord Krishna. And Krishna himself who teaching how to become devotee. He's saying that if you don't develop bhakti, or develop means in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Bengali language it said, Jivara Svarupa Haya Krishnera Nitidas. Jivara Svarupa, natural position of Jiva, of soul, is Krishnera Nityadas, eternal servant of Krishna. So, and it said that prema always resides in our heart. Prema, but it's like covered with a lot of layers of different like thoughts, ideas. This is why we need to revive our consciousness. We need to That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is the main idea of Srimad Bhagavatam is to remember you that you do not belong to this world. The Krishna is the one who you need to be serving. Different religions call Krishna in different names. Somebody called it Jehovah, like in Christian religion. In Buddhist religion they call it Buddha. Actually, Buddha is one of the incarnations of Krishna. It's also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Somebody says it, for example, Muslims call it Allah. Allah means in the language Almighty. But actually they're saying telling about the one object. Like for example, in India, how they call sun? Sun in the sky. Surya. In Ukrainian language it's called Sonechko or Sonce. Or in other languages called differently, but still is related to the one object, right? So everybody in different religions call it different names. We call it Krishna, we call it Rama, we call it Vamana. They're like Vishnu Sahasranama, 1,000 names of Vishnu, telling about the same object, but because describing different features. He's Yashodanandana, sometimes we call it. Yashodanandana, it means the son of the Yashoda, the most favorite son of Yashoda. And somebody calls it, for example, Yadunandana. Somebody, because he is like from the dynasty of Yadu. Many names. Somebody, but still relating to the same person. So, just back to our story, just a little bit going sideway. Just this demon Arishta came, and he was trying to boast himself that he is so powerful. But Krishna, as we just read, just easily killed him. Even sometimes in different Puranas said, some acharyas say that even Krishna didn't directly kill Arishtasura. Lord Yamaraj came invisible and killed this Arishtasura because he was in the form of a bull. I know it's, I don't know from which state you are from, but I know mostly in India you're not allowed to kill cow and bulls, right? Yeah. Even sometimes I know people just buying bulls and bringing it to Bangladesh and killing cows in Bangladesh. A lot of slaughterhouses there. Because in India, in many states, I know in Uttar Pradesh, in UP, it's not allowed to kill bulls. So even Krishna, at the time, Krishna didn't want that anybody would say he was killed a bull, but it's a demon, of course, it's a form of bull. But still he killed it. But no, actually they're saying that Yamaraj appeared and killed this demon. And Krishna just yanked his left horn and killed with, just appeared like he killed this bull with his horn. And so, why I'm telling this story? Because our acharyas explained that these demons, not just simply like very angry persons or very angry, like evil-minded demons, they represent different kind of sins or tendencies in our mind. For example, Putana, she represents, you know, she, as we already mentioned, that she was coming as a young lady trying to breastfeed small Krishna, but actually she represents false guru. Why false guru? Because she, like guru, he will say, I'm real guru, please come to me, give me bakshish, give me some money, and I will teach you the truth. I will teach you the yoga. But he is just trying to earn money himself. He is trying to just enjoy himself. It's called false guru. So real guru will tell you about the actual goal of life. He'll tell you that you are a child of God. You actually the spiritual soul. You need to dedicate your life to establish the connection between yourself, like yoga, and to Krishna, by doing singing his holy names and by following principles like not eating meat, eggs, fish, by not having illicit connections with other women besides your wife, by not gambling, by not what other? Do you remember another first principle? Not taking any intoxications, even no tea. I know in India it's like garam tea usually when you go to by trains. Tea, chai. The same like Ukrainian chai we call it. But even not drinking tea. We don't drink even tea. We don't drink no alcohol. We don't take any drugs. even no ganja, don't smoke it, no tea, even sometimes no chocolate. No chocolate. I like chocolate myself, but I try not to eat. So this Arishtasura, he came like a dharmic person. Like bull represents dharma. Sometimes a cow represents religion, and like mother cow because she gives a liquid religion in the form of milk. When you drink milk, you get the nourishment of your like the subtle tissues of your brain, and you understand more subtle meanings of the word Vedas, and you'll understand it more. In some, for example, in China, they don't drink milk at all. In China, they don't have so much milk. That's why they don't have even word of God in their language. You know, in Chinese there is even there is no term of God. Like you have a lot of different names, thousand names of Krishna, of Bhagavan, but in Chinese there is not even such a term or like definition or understanding what is God about. That's why, because they're a little bit like kind of atheistic nations. That's why Indians doesn't really like in China. It's more political, okay. So Arishtasura represents, Acharya saying is different. This is the following thing. Killing Arishtasura teaches the destruction of disregard of devotional service, which manifests from pride of cheating religion. So actually he came in disguise of bull, but actually he represents like false religion. I was asking in the beginning, what is a false religion? What does it mean, false religion? Can you mention me? Do you know what is false religion? Who knows what is false religion? Because there are many religions, right? When you come to, for example, in Vrindavan, there are many people there saying, my religion is best, I'm doing this religion, that religion, and I see different ways of types of religion. So how do you define false religion? How do you define true religion? Who can tell me? You're very dharmic persons. You know a lot about Vedas. You've grown in a very pious families, right? And you've been learning from the very beginning, from the childhood. So you should understand. Somebody says real religion who teaches you how to achieve moksha, right? It's real religion. So what is your opinion? What is real religion? Okay, first let's define what is a false religion. It's very broad. You say, yeah, okay. So false religions means the religion which teaches you how to become successful in this temporary material world. For example, if religion says you need to become very pious, you need to become very rich. For example, you need to work hard, and you come to our temple once a week, just do some puja, give some donation, and but you're very good, you're very pious person. It's enough for you because you come to chant a little bit kirtan. For example, you hear a little bit kirtan, take a little bit prasadam. You're not pious. It's okay for you. Now you don't need to do anything else, because pious means you will get your money, you will get your wife or husband, you will get your opulence. Car or whatever you want. It means people think, for example, in sometimes some religions they even pray to God. How they pray? Give us daily bread, right? Oh Lord, oh thou in heaven, give us our daily bread. Daily bread. Sometimes they say it's food. Sometimes they say it's, but actual meaning it's not just food. It's just actual meaning. Give us our understanding who you are. Daily bread. It means thoughts about you. It's our daily bread. So the religions who teach you how to become successful in this world, it's like if I will, for example, would be teaching you how to just make the best use of your shirt. For example, there is even a comparison in Vedas with the golden cage. In the cage where the small bird lives. And it's golden and you're shining it, you are cleaning its cage. But still it's a cage, but you don't feed the small bird inside. Small bird is now our soul. But you are doing nicely, you've taken everything from this, even when she gives a stool, you just cleaned it, and you just shine the cage, we polish it every day. It's like ourselves, we're polishing our life, we're having good education, we're bringing good children, having nice families, we have taken care of our opulences. It's like we're polishing our cages, because our body will just, you know, as a doctor, you know, we've been seeing many corpses, right, in the practice. You know that everybody is destined to die, sooner or later. From rockets flying from here somewhere, or from disease, or from other natural, like, causes. So what is the use of having so much, putting a lot of efforts into this temporary body and the temporary system? For example, I was asking some people, what is the goal of life? One lady, old lady, she said to me that my goal of life to take care of children. My children should be well established, they should be okay. It's my goal of life. But there is, in the Vedas, there is a story as in India, one cobbler, he appeared there in one town, and he remembered his previous life. Actually, he was the father of a very rich family. Sometimes very pious people in India, he can remember his previous life. So-called, when they even, I remember like 100 years ago, some ladies were remembering like 10 past lives. They can remember that it's been these people. There is even scientists, researchers of how children of 3-4 years old can remember what been in this previous life. So he remembered he was father of very opulent, rich family in the same town, and he came to the gates of this family, to his family from previous life. He was knocking to the door, and the guardians opened, asking, "Who you are? Who are you? What do you want?" Said, "I'm father from this family from previous life." What do you think they told him? "Chaliye, go away. I will just call dogs and just..." Because, but previous life he was taking so much care about his family, and this life nobody cares about him, right? So what is the use? Of course, we need to do our dharma. We need to do taking care of our children, of our family, about education. But it's like, for example, you have in your car, and you like putting petrol in it, you cleaning it inside, outside, you just repairing everything in it. But where do you go with this? No, it stands in the garage, because I don't want to just do anything with it. So our body is like a car. It's like a vehicle we need to use to establish our relationship with Lord and develop prema, develop our love to God. So in the course of this yoga, or this establishing our relationship with God, of course we can doing different activities like education, bringing families, having our job. Yes, it's our natural course of life, but still our main goal, we understand, when our body is finished, if we don't want to get birth again, like Bharata Maharaj was telling the story, or in the family, or in, for example, in lower bodies, for example, people now, when they eat animals, you know that problem is that if they eat animal, it's called, even in Ukrainian, мясо, no? Мясо. In, I don't know, in Sanskrit called mamsa. Mamsa is the same root. Because before, when somebody was killing animal, they didn't allow to kill cows, they were just allowed to kill goats or sheep. And when they killing this, they said they would need to be killed themselves by knife, cut the throat, and should be telling this mantra, Mam Sa. Mam, it means me, Sa, you. Means this life I'm killing you, next life you will kill me. It's like, you have to understand, it's like the word mamsa, мясо, which we use. Now here in Ukrainian, Russian, we use мясо. You can see in a lot of shops here, мясо, fresh, свіже мясо. Okay, very pious. Like, and people think that if they buy meat, they don't need to pay karmic consequences. They need to just, okay, I didn't kill it. Somebody else in the slaughterhouse killed it. It's not my fault. But still, even our criminal code, if you're ordering somebody to kill, you are responsible for this, right? If for example, paying money to some killer, sometimes even the family, sometimes wives want to kill her husband, he gives money to some like dacoit, and he is killing. And if police finds out she's paying for this, she will go to court. She will get punished. She will to the jail, right? And if you buy from supermarket, somebody buys from supermarket. Of course, I know you're very pious and nobody buys meat from you yourself. But people, 99% of people in Ukraine, in India, they ask me every time I come, veg or non-veg. When I come to the restaurant, or I don't usually come to restaurant because they don't serve prasadam. They sell only, even veg, it's not prasadam. In Bhagavad Gita it said, if you take even vegetables and not offer it to Krishna, it's also creating sin, because because you're not offering these vegetables or fruits or milk to God, it means they also create karmic consequences. So we're not vegetarians. We're not vegetarians, we're prasadians. We take only prasad. First, we take these fruits, cook it, offer to Krishna, and Krishna actually, fruit has a benefit. He becomes next life, fruit or vegetable becomes human, and he has the opportunity to develop his Krishna consciousness. And we are getting benefit because we are taking the Krishna in the form of prasadam, which we'll take now after the class, after the small kirtan. So this is how it happens. That's why in this life, 99% of people, when they kill animals or they pay for this, they need to be born as who? As animal, in order to have karmic reactions, consequences. For example, they killed cow, they can говядина, in Ukrainian it's говядина, because also Sanskrit word go. It's not called sheep meat or cow milk meat called говядина. Interesting, so cow and go, it's totally different words, but still we use говядина. But if they kill cow, its consequences are even more than even just eating meat of some sheep or goats. If somebody, some like lower caste people just want to eat meat, they usually ask, okay, eat this sheep or goat meat, that's it. But people who are killing cows, they get more sufferings. In next life, they will be born as cows and be killed so many times as many hairs in on the cow. So most of the people in this world goes to the animal form of life after this form. In like 35, 50 years maximum, the life is finished. So after this, they go to hellish planets. Yamaraj punishes them in this different locus in hell. In all religions say the hell, but in our tradition it's explained where the exact planets are situated, for which kind of sin they have, which kind of consequences. So everybody goes to the hell, or then they become the animals. So that's a problem in population. Even if yourself, for example, you say, yeah, I don't eat any animal food. I just eat only like vegetarian. But still, I said you get some karmic reactions, and still, if you get even pious, you maximum what you get next life, you go to Svarga, enjoy a little bit, and then go back to here. Of course, if it's good if you come to Bhartavarsha, or you sometimes can come to Africa people or to the countries which is not sometimes very good to live. That's why they're saying if you don't want to have this in the samsara, samsara, the wheel of birth and death. If you don't want to just spin in this wheel for eternity, just get out of this wheel. Just by chanting Lord's names, as I was saying in the beginning, there are different dharmas for different ages. For example, in the beginning it was Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga means is sitting in a posture, a lotus posture, meditating, controlling your breathing and meditating a lot on your heart. It was like in Satya Yuga. In Treta Yuga, it was yagyas, sacrifices. They were doing this swaha, swaha. I was myself, as a Brahmin, I was also doing this yagyas. But it was in Treta Yuga. In Dvapara Yuga, said the different ceremonies in temples, if you do this, they will get success. But now they say the people are so unfortunate, they cannot do any meditation, any hatha yoga. It's useless. It's like more gymnastic now. You can, of course, use it for your wealth or for your health, but it doesn't give you a real result of understanding who you are. Because before, what the goal of this even Ashtanga Yoga, it was when you, for example, have a peace of mind, you control your mind, you control your prana, you know prana, life airs. I don't know, if of course during your studies of medicine you don't learn what is prana. But in Ayurveda it's still that many nadis, special channels in the body which pranas circulating. And our soul is like rotating in this prana. And for example, when they control the mind in such a way that they were able to do, for example, mystical things, they can, you know, with some yogis in India, they can create ashes like or they can become small, become big. Somebody says it's like, it's not possible, but you from India, you know that there's people in Himalayas. My Guru Maharaj was living in Himalayas. He was seeing these yogis, they were levitating sometimes. He was seeing like Naga Babas, he was living sometimes in Naga Babas, and there was like, sometimes they were smoking, and some others were levitating. Have you read the book, Journey Home? I would suggest you to read. My Guru Maharaj is actually, he lives in Chowpatty in Mumbai. But he's originally from America. But still, he lived for many years in Himalayas with yogas. And he was saying that he's seen these all things, but now rarely somebody can live in Himalayas, in caves and jungles. But you can have a very easy process. That's why in this age, they called Yuga Dharma. It's the chanting of the holy names, which we've been doing in the beginning. When you're doing the chanting of the holy names for like sometime in the morning when the sattvic hours, and you can meditate and you can understand that you are just soul and you are eternally the servant of Krishna. And if you read the Shastras regularly, you read Bhagavad Gita, you read Srimad Bhagavatam like your parents did, like your ancestors did, then you will, when you live in your body in 50, 20 years, and we associate with doing satsang, which you're doing now, we associate with like-minded people, which are doing this kind of dharmic activities, or yoga, bhakti yoga, then in the course of life, of course, you will have your family, you have your job, you have your wealth, according to your karma, because everybody gets what his karma allowed it. You cannot get more. You think everybody can become like Rishi Sunak or you can, no, you cannot, because if karma destines you, so you can become this, you can do whatever you want, but you will reach to whatever level you can be doing during this life according to your karma. That's why but we don't want to become like very rich people, because it doesn't really help you, because still they suffer the same as other people. Even, for example, this Rockefeller, he just died like 3-4 years ago. You know, Rockefeller, he had like 3 heart surgeries. But still, in the age of 98, he died. He was one of the billionaires, one of the biggest, wealthiest people in the world. Still, he dies. So, doesn't matter if you have a lot of money. You need to have enough money just to live comfortable life in order to peacefully chant and peacefully practice. Because if you don't have enough food, you don't have house to live, you'll be destitute, you will be desperate, you will say, oh, I don't have, like, for example, sometimes some people tell rickshaw wallahs saying, you can also chant. Said, no, we're poor, we don't have time, we don't have money, only rich people can chant. Sometimes it's things that only rich people can do meditation. Because they need to work a lot to provide feed the families, the rickshaw wallahs say something like this. No, everybody can do. Because no matter who you are you a doctor or you are like a student or you are already like an old person, you need to practice this Krishna consciousness, and in the end of life, you'll get just by meditating on Krishna. I just finished it, I will tell you a little story. Srila Prabhupada was building a temple in Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple. Probably somebody heard about this temple. It was in 1977, it was inaugurated, it was opened on Ram Navami. And he needed to buy deities for the temple, Radha Shyamasudra deities. Radha and Shyamasudra, Radha Krishna deities. And there was one lady, she was a princess from one Raja family. It's like in the 70s. She just given some donation to him, like several $1,000. to Srila Prabhupada. In this time, 70s, it was big sum money. And I've heard some story. In our Calcutta temple, president has received a call from one lady. She's saying, my grandmother is dying. Could you give us some photo of Radha Krishna, please? I will send our driver, he'll take it from you. Can you please bring us a photo of Radha Krishna? So his temple president was trying to look in his office, trying to find some photo of Radha Krishna, and he didn't find it in the bookstore, where it's usually the photos you can buy. He found in his closet some photos of Radha Shyamasundara deities from Balaram, Mandir, Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan. But all this was happening in Calcutta. It was like several years ago, like 2-4 years ago. And he is given this photo to the driver. And later, he received phone call from his lady, a young lady who was calling him before. She said, actually, thank you very much. My mother, or my grandmother, has died, peacefully died. She was watching at this picture of Radha Shyamasundara you have given us. But you know what? She has, like 45 years ago, she has donated money to these deities. And it was in Calcutta, a totally different state. It was, everybody already forgot about this. But you know, in Calcutta, deities are different. Deities, not Radha Shyamasundara, their names are different. But still, in 45 years, Lord Krishna remembered her, and he has bring her this photo to this lady. She already probably forgot about the donation she has done. And she was, when she died, she left her body. She was meditating on Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna was probably facilitating her to remember himself. And when you remember Krishna during the time of death, you go. And you cannot remember it just saying, I will do any nonsense during my life, I'll do this, and then I will, okay, during death I will remember. No, you cannot.
Oh, that's why in the blazes they took their son's name like Ram or Krishna.
Yeah, sometimes there is a story called Jamil, you've probably story, he was called his son Narayan. And when he was dying, he called Narayan sometimes. But what was I remember your name? You?
My name is Atul Krishna Yadav.
Atul Krishna Yadav. If somebody will call you Atul Krishna Yadav, maybe you don't come, but Atul Krishna Yadav will come. Krishna, because he is Yadav. He is actual Yadav, Atul Krishna. He is actual Atul Krishna. But that's why Lord Narayana brought that during that time his Vishnu Dutas. And Yamadutas also came. They wanted to take this soul, but said no. He chanted the names of Lord during the time. But he said he was a sinful person. No, he said. Maybe he was a sinful person, but he chanted the names. But it was like the story tells about the benefit of this namabhas, or just sometimes incidental chanting of holy names. But it's like, if for example you want to become the doctor in India, you see sometimes people get just honorable like diploma saying they're doctors. But sometimes it happens very, very rarely. But because, for example, you come, some institute or some university gives to some politician, say, you are professor of our university, yeah, right? Like some political guy comes, big like, I don't know, and he say, I don't need to actually graduate from the university, medical university, I will just, will wait when they will give me this honorable title. It's sometimes rarely happens, right? You cannot expect that you'll become big politicians and they will give you an honorable title of professor of such and such university. That's why you need to study. That's why you study for 6 years. That's why in order to be successful in the course of your life, which will end like 50, 70 years, depending on your karma, that's why you need to practice all your life. Just doing, which we do every day, chanting japa, names of Krishna, every day, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. On beats, we chant, we read spiritual books like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and we do satsang. That's a simple practice, and sometimes we do a little worship of Krishna. That's it. Maybe you have any questions, any corrections? Any additions you want to give? It's probably you should tell me actually because this is your knowledge. It comes from your country. Actually, before it wasn't different countries. Before it was the whole planet was Bharatavarsha. Before.
Old man in my place say this. We took the some names like Rama Krishna due to this. A old man told me this.
Even I remember when I was studying in the Institute of International Relations, I was told that history of India, that before Pakistan was part of India, Bangladesh was part of India, Nepal, etc., all different kingdoms was part of India, even Afghanistan was part of India. Remember this Gandhar, Kandahar. He's one, this kingdom, Shakuni was from Kandahar. It's Afghanistan. So all it was part of India. But when India is downsizing every the generation and generation downsizing because the knowledge about Vedas going down, 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 and that's why you're the ones who having this knowledge. You need to distribute this knowledge, and yourself, you should know this. Not myself, I should tell you. You're the ones who should tell me. So please tell me anything I missed. Maybe I didn't understand anything, something, or ask any questions. Everything understandable is, or because when there is no questions, it means nobody understands anything, or everybody understands everything. Usually it's the first one. Okay, and think a little bit, right? It's okay for you? If we think.
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyakya Dashatarine Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sahadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Шила Прабхупада ки,